Hello, welcome to the Eurosteppin podcast. I'm Kevin. This is Donald. That's usually where you say your name.
Beyonce. I was trying to think of a name, but I couldn't.
What? You do all of that just to say Beyonce?
Well, I was trying to think of a name, bro, and then I was just like, okay, I said Beyonce once. I'm sticking with it.
God damn it.
It's your boy
Oh,
Beyonce.
Beyonce. Welcome back to Eurosteppin podcast. It's been a minute. But we're excited to get back. A lot has happened. Um, Basketball wise, baseball wise, the playoffs have ended. The Astros have won a championship. Shout out to only Dusty Baker and Trey Mancini. That is all I will shout out. Um, but yeah, do you
I
want to?
wanted the I wanted the Phillies to win, so
I did
I ain't
too.
happy.
Bryce
I ain't
Harper was
happy.
becoming Himothy. He didn't quite do it, but
Almost.
bro, it's crazy how much like the perception of a player can change based on like one series. Like Bryce Harper went from one of the most hated players in like the last decade to all of a sudden everybody's cheering for him to take down the Astros. Like I think it's only Houston fans that hated Bryce Harper during that series.
Basically, Bryce Harper
Yeah,
was being looked at as fucking Superman over here.
yeah.
Everyone was just hoping.
Like Bran hates Bryce Harper, and like I was saying, like Bryce Harper is becoming that dude, and he put no debate against it. That's how I knew America was on Bryce's side.
That is a wild statement. America's on Bryce's
Listen,
side
even
is
if we can
wild.
convert a Yankees fan, that's all you need to know.
I mean, I guess.
Um,
I guess.
Speaking of the Yankees, I think the Yankees are in a lot of trouble, Donald.
I will let you take over. Go ahead. Speak your
So,
mind.
in their series against the Astros, I believe they got swept. Um, Sorry about that,
I, th-
Yankees fans.
I think so.
Um, but like going into the playoffs, like it seemed like they were the team to beat. They were kind of just going to bull rush their way to the championship, probably play against the Dodgers or something, is what everyone thought. Obviously didn't end up happening that way, but like to go out in a sweep, yeah, that hurts. But to go out as your last memories of your home fans booing your star player in his contract year, as the Yankees fans did to Aaron Judge after he had a good like postseason. Like it wasn't his fault they were in the position they were in.
It's not his fault they were ass, is what you're saying.
Yes, it's exactly what I'm saying. And to boo him in his contract year, like that has to be in his mind as he's like deciding where he wants to play. Like money's not like a factor where it's like Yankees are the only team that can now pay him. Like the Giants are going to come through with a big offer. The Chicago Cubs, I'm a Cubs fan, and so I would love to see it, but they have a lot of money this coming off season. Like there are a lot of teams with money and want Aaron Judge. And so to do something like that, whenever already a lot of players have come out and spoken about how like they don't really enjoy playing in New York, you could see that in their contracts. Like not a lot of people, I don't think anybody resigns straight off the bat. I think everyone declined their options. Um, and at this point, it's like who's going to come back? They're losing Jamison Tyone. It seems like he might not come back. Aroldis Chapman, sayonara, he can leave. He's not good anymore. But like even like a little like older player like Matt Chapman, like I thought he or Matt Carpenter, sorry. I thought he would just come back just because he had a great year in New York and everything, but he declined his option. He hasn't signed yet. I thought he would, but he hasn't. So even him, like not coming back, it's interesting just because I don't know what the Yankees become if they can't sign those players back because I don't know who they could bring in. Star players like Xander Bogaerts, who's from the Red Sox, I don't see going there. Carlos Correa, there's not a chance in goddamn hell they signed Carlos Correa from what he did in the cheating scandal with the Astros. Um, so the Yankees, I think, are just in a lot of trouble, and it's a lot to do with their fans just being such difficult fans. And I feel like the thing is usually like, well, that's what comes with playing in New York. Well, on top of that, I why would I play in New York then?
Ouch.
Yeah, I like I can make the same amount of money, probably technically more money due to like housing, like costs and everything, like playing in Colorado or something, and just be at peace.
I mean, I guess, but I, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't really have a opinion like that
yeah.
on it.
It's harder, I think, for teams like big market teams, just because big market is beginning to not matter as much anymore as like the internet continues to get bigger and bigger and all of that. Like back in the day, like a player like Shohei Otani like wouldn't go to the Angels. He'd go somewhere that he's going to get his name more represented, like with the Yankees or to the Dodgers. But like they're able to go to smaller market teams now because I mean, if you're good, you're just going to be put on ESPN at this point because there are cameras watching you 24/7 no matter where you play.
Yeah, that's sort of a bit much. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it sounds cool, but it also is like it's too much.
Yeah. So like it's just a difficult situation. We'll see what the Yankees do. For Brandon's sake, I'm hoping they do well. Realistically, I feel like they're not going to with how the new age player is, but we'll see, I guess. Do you have any like free agency predictions for like? I know shortstop is the big year, or is the big one this year with like Dansby Swanson, Trey Turner, Xander. Well, Xander I guess is kind of second base, but and then who's the other? Carlos Correa.
No idea, bro.
No,
You're asking the wrong person about this.
all I know is it seems like the Cubs are getting at least one of those guys, and I'll be happy with any of them. Carlos Correa he is a cheater. He is really goddamn good at baseball. Carlos Correa and Xander Bogarts would be my two favorites to get out of those four. But Dansby Swanson, I think, is staying in Atlanta. I don't see a reason to leave. They have their young core locked up for the most part already, so why leave it? Like they just re-signed Spencer Strider, who had a great year, great rookie season for them pitching wise. And I expect him to do the same next year whenever they have Mike Soroka back as well from injury. So I'd resign in Atlanta, and then just Trey Turner. I have no clue what's going on with Trey Turner. I keep hearing his name everywhere. So
Yeah, I have not been a baseball man as of late, so I
have
really don't know shit about shit right now.
have you seen what
I'm
your
really don't.
team did? They did
Oh yeah,
another
I know.
heartbreaking trade.
Okay, so I didn't know it was a trade. I literally just thought they let everyone walk, and I was like, wow.
They traded G-Man.
Yeah, him and Kermeyer, I saw that.
Kiermaier, yeah, they declined Kiermaier's option, but G-Man they traded to Pittsburgh.
Why?
Yeah, they got like some minor league like pitcher, of course. But they did it so that way they could like retain, like get back to their full 40 man that they wanted due to people coming back from like injury type things. Um, but yeah, to lose G-Man and Brett Phillips in the same year, it's got to be hurtful. Those are two hearts and souls of the Rays organization.
I fucking hate this team. Over it.
We need to start looking into a new, like Miami. Either they got Edward Cabrera, Jazz Chisholm.
Low key, I'm about to just be a fucking Marlins fan at this point.
A lot
Not
more
even low
fun.
key, high key.
They're gonna have an interesting off season. They're talking about trading Pablo Lopez and everything already. They were talking about trading Pablo Lopez to the Yankees for Gleyber Torres, which would Glaber and Jazz Chisholm would be an interesting middle infield duo.
To where? I'm sorry.
To my Miami Yankees, like Pablo
Oh wow,
Lopez, the pitcher being traded for Glaber Torres.
that's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I like Pablo, so but
Pablo.
Glaber's also cool too. So
Mm. Yeah, I think it's important to have like three good starting pitchers, and I mean Edward Cabrera is right there, and then obviously you have Sandy. So Pablo Lopez with those like two just make it like you're going to win 3 out of the 5 games of your week most likely.
no, yeah. I'm sorry. I really don't have much to add to this
Yes,
talk.
yes. I that's why I wanted to do baseball first, just because it's just now entering the off season and everything. Just get it out of the way and all of that. Um, we can move to some basketball now. I assume you have a lot more to talk about here.
Yeah, I can actually have a conversation now.
Well, what you got, my guy?
Where do you want to start?
We can start anywhere. We can make our like end of the year like predictions if you want, or just start with how
Oh,
the season's going.
okay. I'm gonna hold off on doing end of the year predictions. Um,
Okay.
one, way too early, but two, it's like I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna just wait on that one.
Hmm.
So we can just talk basketball. I'll start with my favorite team on planet Earth, the Miami Heat. I'm joking. The Magic. We'll talk about the Magic. Um, my guy Paulo is balling out. He
Pablo.
did suffer a sprained ankle the other day, but I mean, we're still doing good. If I'm being honest, we've really haven't had a terrible loss this year in terms of like blowouts. All of our games have either been won in the fourth quarter or lost in the fourth quarter, which is good and bad, I'd
Hmm.
say. But yeah, we're actually doing pretty decent. We're on a win streak right now. Shout out that guy Only Franz. Putting the whole team on his back.
Shout out Papa John's.
What'd you say? Your mic cut out.
Oh, shout out Papa John's.
Oh no, we don't like Papa John's.
50% off pizza, my guy.
Yeah, 50% off racist ass pizza.
But yeah, shout out you guys. You guys getting me half off pizza. You guys beating the Suns.
Yeah, we beat the
It,
Suns and Mavericks back to
yeah, my
back, which is
man's.
honestly impressive. We should have been. I think we're 2-0 or 3-0 lately, but we should have beat the Kings. Just we got unlucky with De'Aaron Fox pulling up from the fucking logo. But I mean, I can't be mad at that. I mean, dude just hit a smooth ass jumper, so I can't be
Yeah,
mad at that.
it,
But
you guys shut down Luca like as much as you can shut
Chu-
down Luca. Like he still had a good
Chuma
game,
Chuma OKK, you gotta say his name right nowadays. Chuma had him in jail. Shout out my guy Chuma.
bro. Like the Magic, I told you on draft night, Paulo Banchero makes their plan fit a lot better than I think Jabari Smith could have, than Chet could have. And he's really playing it like
I thought you said Shaq, and I was like, what?
God, they drafted Shaq again.
I,
Some people are
wow.
saying they drafted the reincarnation of a certain player that's still in the league right now. With the stats
Don't
that he's putting up, I'm not gonna say it,
he
but
wait, no,
like
he's not even in the league anymore. He's signed to
no,
some like
it's a
some
player
some
that's in
team
the
in
league.
China.
No, not him.
Oh, him.
Not a
Oh,
player
yeah.
that doesn't
No,
like the
no,
Magic.
no. Yeah, let's not.
And I see the comparison with the stats he's putting up.
Same.
Um,
I do too, but just we're not gonna say it out loud.
yes,
We're not gonna say it out loud. I don't want to jinx that man in any kind of possible
yes,
way, bro. He is. I can't even say that because it's too close to to something the other guy what you would say for the other guy. But shout out Paulo.
yeah. He's on some Prince shit.
Ooh,
Some people could say.
Bobo too.
Bol
Bobo's fucking
Bol
balling this year, dog.
Bol. God
Nah,
damn, he's
seriously,
leading the
I
league
am
in field goal percentage
and blocks. Don't forget
and
the blocks.
blocks.
Don't forget the blocks.
1.9 blocks a game.
No, Bobo is honestly like probably my favorite story of the league so far.
Legit.
Just because one, it's like I'm happy to see this guy actually play basketball. But two, it's on my team as well, which just makes it even like sweeter. And it's like, bro, when you watch him play basketball, it's like, damn, it really sucks that you were drafted and just stuck on the bench behind Jokic, behind a fucking unicorn. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like
It,
both of them are literal unicorns in the basketball world at this point, bro.
well, it
Like,
was just consistently like if you give him minutes, he like can put up the numbers. Finally, he's averaging 23 and a half minutes this year. He has
mhm.
11 and a half points, 7.5 rebounds,
He's averaging like 2.5 blocks, like
1.9
something
blocks
crazy.
right now.
Probably
And
went down,
he's efficient as hell at doing what he's doing. I'm
bro.
trying to find the efficiency stats. I can't find them. But like
That man's making me so happy.
he doesn't miss a shot. He's shooting 67% from the field. He goes he shoots at least one and a half, like he's averaging one and a half threes a game, shooting 52% from three, which is incredible.
Bro,
So
because bro, who's honestly putting
yeah,
a
you
hand in
can't
that
guard
man's
that.
face?
Like
Who's
it's
putting a hand in that man's face? Unless your name is like Giannis, Jokic, or like another 7 footer, bro. Come on, you
so,
switch on him on a pick and roll, it's over.
so his player efficiency rating right now is 20.35. League average is considered 15. So he's playing well, like he's playing near all-star range, like player efficiency levels. Um
I mean, we just gotta see if that keeps up. I hope it does because
I
I've been waiting on this day. But even if he was on the Nuggets, I've been waiting on this day.
so one thing about him that I noticed, I've seen him play before. It was back whenever he was on the Nuggets. I think it was 2 years ago. Um
In the bubble,
or
is that what
not
you're
no,
going with?
like in person, like I saw him in
Oh,
person.
oh
His
wow.
legs were a lot slimmer. Now his legs seem a lot more built. So like I'm a lot less worried as well of him picking up like just a random leg injury because they seem like they're a lot stronger built. And I think like probably during the off season like that was a big focus because it's like people that are 7'2" built like him. That's how they end up losing like their ability to play in the league as their legs give out.
Yeah, facts.
So it seems like
Knees.
he worked on his leg strength, his knees, his ankles, all of that. And so now he just seems very like sturdy and he's unstoppable. This,
Dirty.
this man gonna get sturdy on the goddamn court. Like
Oh
goddamn.
hell no. Hell no. But yes, shout out to my fellow vamp Bol because he does actually listen to like Cardi and shit
This
like that.
Vamp
So
King.
shout out to my fellow vamp.
I am pissed at him. I went to the game and they did like a cop or not. Actually, no, he was one of the two
Are you
players that
talking about
did
the
say
fucking
cop.
lobster
The lobster
sandals?
sandals. It was him.
it
It was
was it
him and
was it was him and
Markel.
Kel, him
Him
and
and
Kel,
Kel,
bro.
and I was like him and Kel, real ones. They're the goats of the team.
Dude, I would cop those. Those look comfortable as hell.
Same. All of the people like, nah, that's a whack. I think
Nah,
Terrence Ross
bro.
was like, nah, too red for me. It's lobsters. What do you want?
What do you want? A blue lobster, fam?
Blue
Like,
lobster. Fuck.
nah, but yeah, just so we don't bore y'all with magic talk, since no one cares about the magic, and I'm one of the few people in the universe that do. Shout out my team. We're making baby steps, but it's a lot better than how we looked last year. This is probably my favorite team we've had within the past 5 years, and I will stand on that hill. So
I do want to talk about another team.
go
Um,
for it.
so until last night, whenever the Rockets lost to the Pelicans, um, the highest odds at the number one seed were the Los Angeles Lakers. They were two
I
and
know where you're
ten.
going with this.
They don't have their draft pick. Their
It's
draft
going.
pick goes to New Orleans still from the Anthony Davis trade. Um,
I know where you're going with this. Please do not say it, bro. I don't. The league will not be able to handle that.
like what do you like? You have to trade your team. Like you have to just trade for picks. Like if you're this bad with who you have right now, um, and I think like we're just getting to the point that it might be like truly like a possibility that Victor Wembanyama joins Zion Williamson in
Oh
New
God, I knew you were gonna
Orleans
say this. I know
with
it.
Ben Ingram or Ben Ingram,
Ben Ingram,
Brandon Ingram,
Brandon Ingram,
CJ
Jose Alvarado,
McCollum, Grand Theft Alvarado. Who's their like
Herb.
starting point guard?
Their starting point guard is technically CJ.
So they're
So
doing
at
CJ
least
Herb, then Ingram.
none. Well, no, Herb's their six man. From what I've seen, keep in mind I've really only watched like a handful of Pels games this year,
Mm-hmm.
like at least from like start to finish. I've seen CJ Alvarado, Bi when he is healthy, Zion and Jonas, and then they have Herb coming off the bench with some other dogs on their team. I
Yeah,
forgot their names. There's one guy on their team I'm thinking of, and I'm blanking on his name.
Terrence Marshall
Um,
or whatever, or Tyler
uh,
Murphy. I know Marshall and
nah.
Murphy play a lot. There's also Lance Graham.
Hang on.
It does
I
look
gotta
like
actually
CJ is
look at
like
their
playing point
roster.
guard because right now he has
No,
the
yeah, he
6.3
is.
assists. McCollum leads them in blocks. What the hell?
That doesn't even sound
It
right,
doesn't
bro.
at
But then
all.
again, he's been the only one out of like their big three that's literally played every game so far. Everyone's been literally like
Valanciunas
Bi
has.
missed the whole week. Oh yeah, okay, true. I don't know how Valanciunas is not leading the
He has
team.
McCollum averages zero point 0.3 more blocks than Val.
You were actually right. I was talking about Najee Marshall.
Najee
Najee
Marshall.
Marshall. The few games I've seen him play this year, dude was put on a show.
Yeah, Marshall's good. Murphy's good. Like they have a really
Hernan
good team
Gomez.
there.
They
Hernan
got Willie.
Gomez, and that's what's so
Kira Lewis.
scary is like
Oh, Devontae Graham also plays,
Devonte
but I
Graham,
forget Devontae Graham's there.
and like they have like a really good team,
No,
but
their team's
like
solid.
they're about to make the playoffs. They're 100% a playoff team in my mind. I don't even I feel like they're a good enough team that they're not even gonna need to worry about the play-in tournament in my mind. Now that everyone's healthy, if everyone stays healthy.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
big if with them, bro. That's literally the only thing that's gonna beat them is literally injuries.
yeah, and I don't see a trade for the Lakers that makes the Lakers a better team. The only trades I see for the Lakers are ones where you blow it up and get worse. And so I think it's like something that needs to be talked about, the possibility of Victor Wembanyama joining that team with Zion Williamson, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, who are all locked down in contracts, or they haven't re-signed Zion yet, I don't think, but they're going to by the end of the season with how
Oh,
he's playing.
no, I thought they did something with Zion. Like it wasn't guaranteed or something like that.
Then yeah, then I guess like
I
everybody's
think
like I guess everybody's locked down. Like that's scary if that's like a possibility for them to be able to get Victor Wembanyama after coming from the playoffs. Like that's literally like something the Lakers used to do, where like the Lakers in Boston somehow had control of everybody in the league's draft picks and would just be able to get the first overall pick after just winning like a championship.
just to update, Zion did sign the a 5 year extension.
Yeah,
So
then that's like I don't even know like I think this is the most interesting like trade that's happened in our generation is the Anthony Davis one, just because of how bad the Lakers have ended up. Like they won a championship. That's all that matters in the Lakers' minds. You won a championship. That's what you get all together to do. Once you win one, congratulations, you've reached the peak. So I'm not saying it's a unsuccessful thing that they've done because they've won a championship, but just right now it's really looking bad for the league. It looks like till 2024, 2025, they have those three all locked down in CJ, Brandon, and Zion.
all I'm gonna say is I feel like the NBA might have a little their hands a little bit too much in the
I
Pelicans.
don't
You know
believe
what
in
I mean?
that stuff. I don't believe that they rigged
I
the
think
thing. Like
they
it's a
still got a little bit, bro, because I mean, they like like no one owned the fucking Pelicans in like for like a whole year, bro. Like it was ran by like the league. Like I think the league still has some kind of favoritism. You know what I mean? Because bro,
Maybe I don't think it
they
happens
they've had
anymore
a lot of
though.
crazy luck though. They've had a lot of crazy luck. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not saying everything's rigged, but in terms of draft, they had a lot of
They
crazy
did.
bounces. I'll say.
I don't think it happens. I think it happened before. I want to say
I
the
feel like
Anthony Davis
AD
draft
was
was the last
definitely,
one.
yeah, I think that was definitely like, okay, we need somebody to go to this team.
Yeah, but now like it's the same talk with like the baseball thing that I was saying where like yeah, you might make a little bit more money if you go to a bigger market, but like overall like cameras are on you 24/7 at any point. So like I feel like now it's a little bit less like needed for that. So I feel like it's less. I mean, we'll see. Um
I
I'm
mean,
honestly rooting for
Scoot,
Wembenyama there.
even if they get Scoot, they're still in
Yeah,
good
they because
hands.
they need a point guard, so
Yeah. So I mean, regardless, if they end up with one of the top two picks, it is gonna be
and
very interesting
I
over
cannot
there.
express to you how high I am on those first two guys. Like, I think both of them are like generational type talents, like in their specific skill sets. I feel like generational gets thrown out a lot, but like
Yeah,
in
I
their
was gonna say I don't
specific
want to
skill
knock you.
sets, like, because like they both like offer new things to the game. Like Scoot reminds me a lot of like what Derrick Rose seemed to be coming out of Memphis. Like he's just so explosive, and I feel like I haven't felt that way since like a point guard in that sense. Like since like Derrick Rose came out. Victor Wembanyama, I don't think I've
So
ever
we're just
like.
gonna ignore Ja.
I didn't think Ja was going to be what he was coming out of college. I thought Ja was
Okay,
going to
yeah,
be really,
that
really
is true.
good coming out of college, but I didn't think he was going to be as good as he is.
Yeah, if I'm being let's if I'm being fair, I don't think anyone expected Ja to take as big as of a leap as fast as he did. You know what I
But
mean?
like whenever it comes to Victor Wembanyama, I thought about it and like honestly the game mode My Eras made me think of it. Which is like a thing in NBA 2K where you can now start like back at the Michael Jordan draft and work your way to this year, which it's like you know what players are going to be good because
You know,
we've gone through the
hindsight,
years.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought back to it and I'm like through all of the NBA drafts if Victor Wembanyama was there, I think there are only four drafts that I wouldn't take him number one overall.
Which four drafts, if you
Cause
do
it
know?
cause it would be like my top four players of all time, obviously that I wouldn't take him over. But one would be Kareem, two would be Michael Jordan's, three would be LeBron's, and fourth would be Tim Duncan's. Anybody else, like any other player in history, I feel like I would just take the risk with Victor Wembanyama because I think Victor Wembanyama is about to be a guaranteed like top five player of all time. That's how high I am on Victor Wembanyama.
That's interesting.
I I
I'm not
thought it
knocking.
because
I'm just finding it interesting.
I'm just like thinking about like I'm like where do I think Victor Wembanyama can go and if he's healthy and like I don't know if you saw his fall the other day.
I did, and I got scared
I
watching
got
it.
scared watching it, but like the ability like he fell bad and like that's a play that a lot of 7 footers might not stand right back up from and then go be able to I think he shot a three directly after it. um, and be able to keep playing. But like he seems like built enough. Going back to like the bowl thing, like he seems like he knew, and I think that comes from the benefit of playing overseas with like a professional team. Like you get professional training staff and everything with you,
I
rather
mean,
than being in high school.
as much as you like to knock him and you don't like him, I would say that is correct just because Melo benefited heavily from playing overseas too as well.
Don't give that one the nickname.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. That's he doesn't own that. Love Melo.
There you go. But I'll agree with you
Thank you for
there.
actually correcting me on that. I didn't mean to
Yes. Don't
disrespect the
disrespect
OG.
the
The
legends.
OG, bro. Yeah, I can't disrespect the OG.
But I agree. I think there's a big benefit. I think there's a big benefit going to G League now as well with that, which Scoot Henderson's
The
doing.
G League Ignite, yeah,
Um,
that's also like a smart route to go. I
hmm
say too.
um, and it's yeah, I think it's becoming the best route to go either international or G League because you get a more professional training staff with you. Like college training staffs, like yeah, they're professional-ish, but like you have
I feel like
student
the game
doctors
is so
on there.
different.
It's a
The game is
really different game too.
it's so drastic. Like I feel like overseas in G League, like obviously those are because like you're playing under either the same rule set or a similar rule set, like
Mm-hmm.
shot clockwise and everything. Like the college, I never liked the 35-second shot clock on
35
college.
well
Like
now it's 30-second. They just changed it, I believe,
they
to
finally
30
changed
second.
it.
But it's
Okay, that's a
also
little better,
it's
but
two 20-minute halves. Like that's not how basketball is played.
yeah, it's a totally different game. It's
Yeah.
literally a totally different
And
game.
so it's like you're not getting the like my father, I think he got like tickets to like the Amway um
Oh,
like
he's going to
games this
the
year.
final,
I
the
think I
finals.
think he won it this year, and he like
Right.
was asking me if I wanted to go, and I'm like, I don't know if I do because like the I told him
Oh,
specifically, I was
you
like,
gotta
the
go.
talent's not in college this year.
I mean, you still gotta go for the experience, bro.
We'll see, maybe
I think
If
you should.
Amani Bates makes it, I have to go. I can't miss Amani.
Nah, bro. I think you just gotta go regardless. That's an experience that I don't think you should miss out on.
We'll see, but it's just uh,
I would go, but tickets are
they're expensive as
cheap.
hell. I
Yeah,
saw
bro.
like the UFC tickets. UFC tickets are expensive as hell too.
Facts, bro. Like you know, honestly, I don't think I would ever go to a UFC event live.
It's like two
It
hundred
doesn't make
seventeen
sense,
dollars for
bro.
that fight, like that's coming up, like cheapest tickets.
Like it doesn't make sense. Like you're better off literally watching UFC on your TV at home with quality camera angles than trying to watch it from a freaking nosebleed seat,
Yeah,
bro.
a
Like
friend and I
it
were
just
like, the only benefit of going is like hearing Bruce Buffer live.
that is the only thing that would make it worth it. Exactly. Like other than that, bro, like I'm cool from the comfort of my own couch or some sports bar or some shit. Like
But going back to like basketball, like I just think Benyama is absolutely that guy. I think Scoot Henderson in mostly any other draft would be just yeah, he's number one overall pick. But like this year with Benyama being there, I'm also still high. I think last like draft we talked about Terquavion Smith. I know I hope you don't think I'm just high on him because of his name. I think he's a Brock Terquavion. But I think he's like a really, really good player. Terquavion Smith is out of NC State.
is
Amani
he a
Bates,
freshman or
he's
what
a
is he?
sophomore. So he
He's a sophomore.
stayed
Okay.
last year. He's a sophomore this year. I assume he leave for the draft this year. I don't know why you would stay junior year.
I mean,
Um,
some people benefit from it. Some
no,
people. I mean, it depends on who you are, though.
like he was a lottery pick last year, and now he's still considered a lottery pick, even though he's a year older. So usually you fall back further, but I if he goes back to his junior year, he might just be a second round pick next year after that. So like it would make sense money wise for him to leave.
It's
Um,
true.
and then Amani Bates should be in this year's draft, which really bad year this year legally and on the court. Um, but like this year, like yeah, it's one game, but it was one game against Michigan, playing on Eastern Michigan, where you're probably going to be the only guy really getting guarded. He was looking like Kevin Durant with the shots he was like taking and hitting.
Like, even if it is one game, he needed that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he needed to see that he can still do it. You know what I mean? Like, he can still put up buckets and play basketball. Because yeah, like last year was like rough for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying over text, like I hope that this is like everything environment wise and mental health wise is better for him now because it's like that's like a lot of untapped talent. I think you can still like get out of him. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy. Like I keep talking about it this podcast, but like your leg strength in basketball is I'd say leg strength is almost more important than arm strength.
Well, no,
And
100% because you're constantly jumping, bro. Like
yeah,
if your legs cannot support your body like that, you're
mm,
honestly screwed.
yeah, and like the thing about Amani Bates last year, he was one of the worst in the country for college basketball when taking a shot with like a defender like on him. So like someone was just able to move him, he wasn't hitting the shots. He looked a lot like more stable, and that comes from like leg strength and everything. Um, and so it seems like that's also something he worked on. It seems like a lot of basketball players, from what I'm seeing, like worked on leg strength because it's becoming more and more evident how important it is with how the game's played. Like 7 second offenses, someone's probably going to be right on you as you're taking it. And
Unless your name is Desmond Bain.
that Desmond Bane's king of the fourth quarter this year. Did you see the stat? He's leading everyone in fourth quarter points this year.
I'm not surprised. He's a dog,
It
bro.
wasn't even. It was like he was leading by like 10 points or something. Next best was like Steph Curry.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, he's leading my whole 10 points. That's actually crazy.
That's a lot. Like considering where we
That's
are
no,
at
that
this
is a
point in the
lot.
year, like and Desmond Bain, this is third year in the league.
Facts. No, Desmond Bain is something special, bro. Like he may have. I'm telling you, bro. We were talking about it the other day. His draft class, which was the 2020 draft
Yeah,
class, with like Maxi,
deep.
Lamelo, Tyrese, Cole, like, bro, we everyone in that first round is literally either a starter or like a valuable role player, which is honestly crazy how stacked that draft class is. And the fact that Desmond Bain went the last pick in that draft class is crazy. Like, bro,
Yeah,
I
and it was like
like if
there
we
was
were to
only one
redraft,
player, one person that we were like we wouldn't pick, and I want to find who it is just to shout him out. Leandro
Leandro
Balomaro.
No, Balmero, pronounce it
Balomaro.
correctly.
Oh, of course it was a Knicks pick too. God damn, poor Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, but he actually gets run on the Wolves. I think he's on the Wolves. I'm pretty
He is
sure,
on the
but
Wolves right now. Or
yeah,
no,
okay,
he's
I
on
thought so.
Utah.
Yeah.
He's on Utah right now, actually.
Oh, he got traded. Okay, he got traded with who did they get last year?
So that was from
Who did you?
Minnesota to Utah. So that was the Gobert trade.
That was the Gobert trade. Okay, thank you. Because I was like, bro, I'm blanking on who got who in that trade. Now that makes a lot of sense. Okay, but yeah, no, bro, like that class is crazy, and the fact that he went 30th, like if we were to redraft that class, he has to be a top five player.
Well, right
Has to be
now,
top five
based
player.
on like I feel like the
Maybe
best
even
way
top
to
three,
gauge
depending.
like a player right now would be Vorp. Um, and right
That's
now,
all you. That's all you, advanced stat god.
yes. Right now he would be third. Like it would be number one Tyrese, two Lamelo, three Desmond Bain. By the way, if you can get to the card shop, he has two really nice Tyrese Halliburton rookie cards. Just
Really?
saying that to you. Yeah, I almost
Okay,
bought
thank
them,
you.
but I didn't.
Nah, bro, Tyrese is that fucking guy,
I
bro.
can pick them up for you if you want. But yeah,
He
no,
is
that
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 guy.
draft class is absolutely insane, and like we've been absolutely spoiled with draft classes, like these past few
Lately,
years.
yeah, I'd say the past 5 years have all
Like
been great.
even like, is this last year's draft?
Last year's draft was
Is
pretty good
Cade?
too.
Yeah, it's with Cade. Like right now, you got
Only
Cade.
Franz.
Jalen Green, he's really turning it around this year. He's looking really good. Evan
He's
Mobley is going to be a future defensive player of the year.
only Franz. You got to put only
Well, I'm
Franz's
going through
respect in
like the
there.
picks and being like
Oh,
Scotty Barnes,
excuse
great.
me.
Jalen Suggs, I feel like he has potential because he does do good things sometimes. But then there's like
Listen,
Josh Giddey, there's Cum Bucket, there's Only Franz.
no, Kaminga. Pronounce it. No, we aren't doing that. Kaminga.
Jonathan Kuminga. Uh, um, Davion Mitchell is a good defensive player. Future Marcus Smart there, basically. Chris Duarte is insane scorer. Um,
I'm sorry, bro, but listen, and it's not like he did anything wrong, but I still can't believe that the Kings chose Davion Mitchell over Tyrese Halliburton, bro. Like I get it because you need defense, but dude,
Wait,
over
what?
Tyrese?
Oh, like the trade. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
bad
I'm
bad trade.
like,
I
bro,
was like,
like
wait, what are you
over.
talking about? That's two different draft class. But no,
No,
yeah,
no, no, no. Because remember, they like I get it because you need defense, but dude, Tyrese is literally an all first team caliber point guard, bro. That dude is special.
yeah. It was a bad choice. We saw it like as it happened. We're like, what the hell?
Bro,
Even
no,
a year later, it's like, what the hell?
I don't think there's anyone that doesn't look at that trade and be like, like what were they thinking? Like
Well,
honestly.
I think they just really wanted DeMontis Sabonis, and there's no way Davion Mitchell gets that trade to go
Oh
through.
no, yeah, obviously. Like I mean, okay, I get it from that standpoint, but I'm like, bro, like if we're talking like because I feel like with that trade, they were trying to win now, but they really don't have the roster to be trying to win now, in my
No.
opinion. And I'm
Um.
like, bro, like at that point, just go with your just go with your the future, bro. Like just go
Yeah.
with Tyrese.
Reese is the way.
He is.
But
Dude's
then
been balling out this year.
also there's like Chris Duarte, great scorer. Alperen Sengun's made a big step this year. I think Isaiah Jackson still has a lot of potential. Bones Highland, just these are
Bones has
all some
been
great players.
Bones has been Bones has been letting me down this year, but hopefully he picks it up. He turns it around. It's
I
not that
think
he's
he
been
will.
terrible, but he just I feel like I'm not seeing like a step forward yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I feel like the last like bad, like not bad, but like kind of disappointing draft class would be me. Like the worst one in the past few years is 100% like I guess this 2015 draft class, which still gave you Devin Booker, Porzingis, Russell, Karl Anthony Towns, Miles Turner, but like beyond them, like it's not really anybody.
Yeah, a lot of those. But see the difference with everyone you named, because that was when the league really started changing. Everyone that you named is literally shooters, bro. Which
Mm-hmm.
is honestly crazy that when you like think about it that way. But that's really when the league like shifted hard. I'd say anyway. So
Yeah, because I mean, the year before that, you can just see that in the names, like Joel Embiid being one of the best, Clint Capella being one of the best. Like, so it went from like big men that don't shoot really, which Joel Embiid can shoot now. I'm coming
yeah,
into the league, he
yeah,
couldn't. But then going to Karl Anthony Towns, Kristaps Porzingis being like these big men that you draft, like a big change in the game.
facts. You can either blame or thank Curry depending on how you look at it.
I
So
think Steph Curry. I think the game is better now than it was.
it's way more interesting. You know what I mean? Like I do miss the fact that like the MIDI isn't like as used as much. Shout out DeMar DeRozan,
Hmm.
keeping it alive. But I mean, yeah, the game's way more interesting. Especially it's way more high scoring now too. So that's always more interesting. Like, yeah, I love defense, but at the same time, I do want to see people hitting some crazy shit. So
Yeah, it makes it more strategic. You got to know what to do. Like if you play Jalen Brunson the whole fourth quarter, or just not at all in the fourth quarter.
yeah,
Things
okay,
like
we're
that.
we're we're talking about that. Thank you for bringing it up. So if you don't know, I am a betting man.
He is indeed.
Today, I decided to take a 3 leg parlay between Shea Gilgeous Alexander, who is I'm gonna talk about more later, but I have a little praise list. He's definitely one of the people on there. Um, I had Shea. I took a bite of the bullet. I said that phrase wrong, but I bit the bullet. I put money on Julius Randle too, and the guy I'm talking about, Jalen Brunson, who didn't play the whole fourth quarter for some unknown reason because Thibodeau is a terrible head coach. Fire Thibodeau. I'm not even a Knicks fan. Get that man out of there. You let the Thunder put up 145 points on you at home and don't play your star player. You just
Yeah.
sent a picture of Tibbs with a
Yes.
McDonald's. Bro, Tibbs needs to be working at McDonald's because that's questionable. The You don't play. I think he was your second leading scorer besides Cam Reddish because Cam Reddish had a great game. But going into the fourth, your second leading scorer, you don't play him. for some reason, I guess to prove a point, but what point are you trying to prove? That you guys can give up 145 points at home and lose? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, play your. What is the point of bringing a guy in for the amount of money that you did
So
for
much
him to
money.
just sit the fourth quarter if there's nothing wrong with him? You know what I
Yeah, to
mean?
put
Like,
in
let the
Jericho
man
Sims
play.
over that guy.
It's not even him that was the problem. You put in you let Evan Fournier stay in the game, who was 0 for 5. Brunson had 17 going into the fourth, and you don't play him.
17.
Like,
17
the
going
game,
5 for 9. He's shooting efficiently. He has 7 assists.
like, bro was having a great game,
He only had 2
and
fouls.
you take him out for a guy that literally wasn't giving anything to you offensively. Like, I don't understand the coaching decision. And if I'm this frustrated as a guy who bet on a Knicks game, I can't imagine a Knicks fan right now. Like, bro, because that's just questionable coaching, in my opinion. Like I said, if there's something going on that I don't know about because I'm not engulfed in Knicks culture, then whatever. But from the outside looking in, that made no sense at
I'm just
all.
I'm just saying Quinn Snyder's available as a head coach right now.
Does he like to play rookies? I forgot. Because they
He
actually have pieces that they can use that Tibbs will not play.
he likes to win games, I know that.
Like, well, bring him in. At least he would have probably let the person that you gave a bag to this fucking offseason play and try to help you win the game.
Yeah, I I love Tibbs for what he did in Chicago, but like it's bad.
Bro, oh my god.
It's
Like, it's so
bad.
bad. You know what? I'm gonna say one thing positive about this game. Not the Knicks, but the game. Shout out that guy SGA.
Shea
Went
is
off
insane.
in the fucking garden, bro. Smooth 37 points in the garden.
Shea, like he's been showing up all season long.
My
I
thing, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
he's just like making himself one of the best point guards this year. Like at this point, I feel like he'd be an all star. Um, and I didn't think I'd say that like this early, but like Shea, he's been getting a lot of disrespect like being on OKC. Like obviously it's like, oh, it's pointless stats and everything he's putting up. He's averaging 30 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1.5 blocks. And OKC right now is looking like they're one of the bubble teams, or not bubble, the play-in teams. So like it's not pointless stats anymore, and he's still doing it.
I just hope that they don't shut him down, because the issue they've had the past couple years, if they just shut down their players for no reason. Like,
Mm.
bro, they only played 30 that trio of Dort, Giddy, and Shea only played 30 games last year.
I don't think that's
But
gonna happen again.
I mean, I hope not. I mean, my thing is, though, they're doing really good. Like, they have a 6-7 record, and they don't even have their number 2 overall pick, who is definitely gonna give them value as well.
Yeah,
So
Chet's
it's
gonna
like,
be back next season. Like if you make the playoffs this year, like you make the playoffs and then you still get that number 2 overall pick this year, you win some games. You probably have some money because you have so many people on rookie deals. You can try and convince a like player to come sign with you.
no
Like,
facts. Like they've seemed really chaotic over the past couple years, but they really got something
mm,
growing there.
why
Like,
couldn't
I
they? There's the Jay Crowder situation going on in Phoenix. Like Drake Crowder would be a good player to bring in with that team if you want to make a playoff push. Like you have so many like young players that you can trade that you probably don't need like right now. Like why not try and make that trade?
Yeah, I was gonna bring up Jay actually. So, we're just gonna transition to that. Where do you think he ends up? Because I mean,
Milwaukee.
the the second you say that, I can literally imagine him in a Bucks jersey.
I think Marjon Beacham, which is their guy that they drafted this year, I think he's going to be a big part of that trade. And also the Bucks, like I don't care about picks if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks. I have Giannis signed for a long time. I have Chris Middleton signed for a long time. I'm not worried about my picks. Just give them to the Suns for a player that doesn't want to be playing in a Suns uniform anymore, and it'll help me win a championship again.
Uh, that is true, I guess. Um, Personally, I when I was thinking of this, I couldn't really think of like a landing spot because there's so many teams that could technically use him. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like I could see Philly giving up some more pieces to probably get him and PJ paired up. I could see Brooklyn because they desperately need to vamp up the roster a little bit. Like I could see like any playoff contention team besides maybe like a handful trying to work something out for him.
Yeah, I feel
Like
like the Suns just have the better overall trade for them because I feel like Chris Paul has to be getting close to retirement, and I feel like whenever that happens, there's going to be like kind of a shift of Devin Booker to point guard, and I think Marjon Beauchamp like fits that like timeline and everything to take over as shooting guard whenever you move Devin Booker to point guard and everything is like my reason for liking that trade.
I mean, I can see it. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
like opposed to it. I'm just I'm not opposed to it. It's more so just I'm just curious as to where the hell he actually ends up at this point.
Yeah, like the fact that he's gone this long so far without getting traded is kind of crazy. And I'm sending a picture in the group chat right now. It looks like he didn't even like show up to like team photo day.
No, bro. He didn't. He hasn't been a part of anything Suns related since training camp
So why
started.
does he hate the like I've never understood like what happened with them in the
I dude, you're asking the wrong
Yeah, I
person because
was
I've been
trying to
trying to
look it
figure
up
this
and I
out
couldn't
myself.
find it a reason. Like they're a winning team. They're paying him good money like
Like, I think it has something to do with like I think it's an issue between him and Monty, if I'm being real. Because
mhm.
I remember when Cam Johnson dropped like 24 or something like this year, like he had like a really good game. I remember he did like a sort of shady like shout out. Like he wasn't dissing Cam, he was more so dissing like what it seemed like the Suns coaching staff. So I'm just gonna assume Monty is probably the issue with Crowder, but I really don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, cuz it's I really can't find anything. Like I'm looking through articles and it's just talking about the trade. Maybe it's something dealing with like starting position, but who would be the starting power forward there if not Jay Crowder?
I mean, unless you shift Bridges up and you play sort of small.
Is that what
That's the
they've
only.
been doing? Because like since they don't have him right now, who's been playing power forward?
If I'm being completely honest, I have not watched a single Suns game this
Makes
year, and I
sense.
really haven't had any interest in watching a Suns game this year.
It does make
I don't know,
sense.
like I, I don't know why, but I just really don't care to watch them.
Yeah. I mean I haven't either. I've watched other
But
teams.
like facts, like it's like I don't know. I feel like I've watched too much of them within the past couple years. I'm just like, okay, I want to watch other teams play. Like,
It's something about whenever a team plays, like kind of like how basketball should be played, it gets boring. It's like whenever like the Spurs were on their big run, like nobody wanted to watch the Spurs because they're just playing smart basketball. It's so goddamn boring. Their starting power forwards are they switch between Cam Johnson, Torrey Craig, and Dario Saric.
okay, then it's Torrey Craig starting because I've actually seen him in a starting lineup.
Hmm.
I think Sarge is just literally a bench piece strictly.
Yeah,
Oh no, they've been also playing.
it
Oh
looks
wait,
like
no,
Cam Johnson is really
he's
good
a
whenever
center.
he's playing.
Yeah, I forgot how long he's hurt for. I know it's for a while, but
Hmm.
oh, out for one to 2 months. That's rough.
R.I.P.
But yeah, okay. I'm gonna move topics. Okay, I'm just gonna breeze over two things real quick. Well,
Okay.
one thing I'm gonna try to breeze over. I know you aren't gonna let me breeze over it, but we'll see. Okay, so first thing is James Harden being out. That sucks.
Yes.
Hopefully he's, especially because he's older as well, and he's had so many injury history problems. As much as I don't really care for Philly, hope that man gets his health right. And because they're a pretty fun team to watch when they're playing good basketball, but it's just, you know, I don't know.
Hmm.
But yeah, hopefully he comes back soon. And then I'm gonna try to breeze over this. I hope that you just let me just say it and just we don't have to
Let's
talk
see.
about it. Joshua Primo.
You motherfucker.
I'm just gonna leave it like this. Joshua Primo is a weirdo, and he is no longer a mem. He's no longer a member of the Spurs because he likes to expose himself.
Yes, I hope
We'll
he
leave it
doesn't
at
play
that.
for another team.
We'll just leave it over that. I'm trying to gloss over this.
No, I just hope he doesn't play for another team. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Okay. Now back to positive thing.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna start something where I'm going to give a little praise section. So my first praise is we're gonna start with I have weekly MVPs, like a player of the week, but it's my personal list. Um so for the first week, technically opening week, that's what I'm gonna count it as. For opening week, my Eastern Conference MVP was the man himself, Donovan Spider Mitchell. That man was playing out of his mind without Garland there. Just absolutely balling opening week. So yeah, shout out Spider. He was my week one MVP for the East.
Hmm.
My West MVP. I'm about to be talking about this man a lot, so I just hope you are ready. My dog Laurie Marketing.
Go.
That guy. I don't know what clicked in him, but he's finally found a system and a team that works for him. And he's been playing some really good basketball lately. Like I don't know what it is about Utah and Laurie, but it's something special. So Laurie was my week one MVP of the West. So Spider and Laurie. Um, week two MVP. We were just talking about him earlier. I'm gonna have Shea as my week two MVP for the West. That man has been literally averaging 25 plus for like the past like I'd say like week and a half. Like there's probably been one game where he hasn't hit 20 to 25. Like that man has been playing some really good basketball lately.
Hmm.
So Shea's my Western MVP, and then for the East, I'm gonna have it as a tie. Honestly, sort of split. I do have it as a Spider again, just because that man is hot in basketball right now. Um, Spider and Jason Tatum are my, I guess, co MVPs for the East. For week two, Jason Tatum's just been playing some really good basketball. I know everyone hates on him because he's corny with the whole Kobe thing.
Bro,
I
it's
agree, but I
him,
mean
him and
that
Devin
man.
Booker, man.
I know, but Tatum is a hooper, bro. So Tatum is my MVP. I don't care what anyone says. I love watching Jason Tatum play. His game is it's fun. It's fun to watch.
I'll give my this year's asshole award.
Oh, wow, what an award. Okay,
Fuck
let me
Anthony
actually hear it.
Edwards.
Oh,
This guy is an asshole. He's saying, like, he keeps going into interviews being like, oh, no one on my team's putting up effort. And then a video of you, like, on the court just not putting any effort forth, like,
I saw
gets put
that.
out. And, like, it's not like that's, like, the only play. Like, he does it constantly throughout games. And, like, okay, yeah, there's a chance, like, a play might not call for you to, like, get the touch. You still have to be running around like, hey, this play is for me to get the touch, so that way, like, defenders have to look your way. You can't just stand there and then, like, blame everyone else for your team doing bad.
Bro, that team is just in mental shambles right now. Like you have Ant not even trying. You have D'Lo standing on the fucking sideline and watching his team play a 4v5. Like it, like I don't know, bro. You got Cat calling out teammates, which I mean he should do as like a leader, but the way he did it was handled terribly, which honestly, I've been questioning Cat's leadership for a while, but it's like, dude just cannot be a leader of a team.
Yeah, I
I
don't
really
think
think
he's
he
a
has
good
to be a
leader.
second. Yeah, he's not cut out to be the top dog of your team.
It's just weird. Like right now, um, like Gobert, he's doing his Gobert thing. He's doing the defensive numbers
Yeah,
and everything.
Rudy's like the only normal one right now. He really is.
Well,
Like,
even like his stuff, like he's dipped a bit. Like points, obviously, I expect to dip. Um, but like other things, like he's out of place a little bit more in like possessions. His rebounds are up. I don't know if you've seen a Utah Jazz game. There's obviously going to be an adjustment period to
no,
like
you mean Timberwolves game?
Timberwolves game. There's obviously going to be some adjustment to like joining a new team, but like it doesn't seem like it's his fault that he's out of place. I feel like it's Carl Anthony Towns not knowing where to be, and that's just because Carl Anthony Towns is just notoriously a bad defensive player.
I
Um,
think it's a whole team issue, personally.
as I look at like I'm looking at like player efficiency rating, like Anthony Edwards is playing below like average player value. D'Angelo, like I said, player efficiency rating 15 is considered average. You want your stars to be 20 and above. There's not a single player above 20 on their team. Their best is 19.8 and 19.7 with Rudy Gobert, and then it drops to 15.3 to Kyle Anderson, who's been hurt. Um, and then like guys that are getting minutes consistently, like Torian Prince is at a 9.6. So that's terrible. D'Angelo Russell, like you said, he is not playing good. He's at an 11.7. He's not shooting the ball good at all. His true shooting percentage is 48, which is his lowest in his career. Um, I don't even know what to do with him at this point because he can't shoot the ball, and that's what D'Angelo Russell gets paid to do is shoot the ball.
Yeah, like, and then it's like, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I almost said Kyle Johnson. I think Anderson's jump shot has low key gotten worse this offseason. Because, like, listen, I know this man has always had like a hitch in his jumper, but dude, have you seen his jumper lately?
Well, whenever he's been Kyle Anderson, whenever he's been playing, has been good. Like he has one of the best true shooting percentages in the league right now. He's shooting 67% true shooting percentage.
No, I'm not talking about his actual percentage.
Oh,
I'm
you're
just
just
talking
saying
about
his shot?
his shot. Like,
Oh.
like, is it me or does his shot look different
No,
this
it's
year?
it's a disgusting shot, but it's going in whenever he takes it.
No, I'm but saying, is it different this year? Because I
Yeah,
feel
he
like he got
changed
more of a hitch, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
he changed it, but if it's working, it's working.
I mean, I guess,
Um,
but
but it's obviously everything is not working there in Memphis, and then the big trade they did with
bro,
Utah, it's work.
you are mixing up
Minnesota,
these
god
teams. Oh
damn.
my god! Like you
Um,
said something earlier
I
that I
did
just
with the
let
Utah
go
Jazz.
too.
But then the trade they did with the Utah Jazz, it's working out great for the Jazz.
Yeah,
Um,
the Jazz are probably the biggest surprise of the NBA. I'm gonna just say it, bro. I
they
don't
have
care.
to be.
No one expected them to actually have a winning record as it is, but to be like 7-3, or is it like what 8-4
Right
at
now
this
they're
point?
ten
I
and
don't know.
four.
Yeah, bro. Like no
They're
one
first in the
expected them to
Western
be this
Conference
good.
right now.
They've low key are one of my favorite teams to watch this year, and I've never cared about the Utah Jazz
They
like
have
that.
first-time NBA head coach Will Hardy leading them right now. They just lost Quinn Snyder, who's debatably like one of the best coaches in the NBA, definitely a top five coach right now. Um, they traded Gobert, they traded Mitchell, and they're 10 and 4. Laurie Markkinen, shouts out Laurie, being
And
absolute god
Clarkson,
he is. Um,
too. Clarkson's been having a
Clarkson,
great year.
Walker Kessler right now, I feel like he's not being talked about enough. He is filling Rudy's role so well
perfectly,
whenever he
bro.
plays. Colin Sexton is absolutely having a remarkable season. Mike Conley, Jared Vanderbilt, Talon Horton Tucker dunking on his former team. Like
That's crazy. Not,
this
bro.
Utah
Like,
team, this is like this is like as fun to watch as I imagine the Run DMC like We Believe Warrior or the We Believe
oh,
Warriors I
facts.
mean would be. Like
No facts. This is like I would say like the modern day Baron Davis squad, bro.
yeah,
Like,
like they're not supposed to be here and they're first in the West right now.
yeah, bro. They're actually like honestly, they've definitely it's crazy. It is crazy. Like no one expected them to be this good, and we'll just see if they can keep it up, bro. Because like I don't know, I
Finisher.
want them to because I really at this point, like I said, they're like one of my favorite teams to watch so far this year.
The finisher for MVP.
Oh Lord.
I want to see let's see what is because Laurie I feel like with how he's played he's got to be in like the MVP tracker. No,
I
they
mean,
only do top 10. He's not in the top 10.
if there was like a top 15, top 20, he's definitely in there though.
Do you want to talk about the top 10 real quick?
Uh, sure. I don't know anything about where the current standings are, so let's see if I agree with it.
All right, the tracker right now, I'll start at 10.
Yeah,
Um,
start at
so 10 and 9 are tied at 0.7% probability to win it, which are James Harden and Kevin Durant.
10.
Um,
Yeah, James Harden's number is gonna dwindle down though,
yeah,
just
now that
because
he
he's
got
literally
hurt.
missing a whole month. Yeah,
Mm. Number 8 is at 1.4% Ja Morant. This is one that
interesting. Okay,
I'm
go ahead.
so glad how much so this is off basketball reference. Basketball reference is usually like pretty correct with what the percentages say as to what ends up happening. And this just shows how much more people look at guard defense and everything. Coming in at 7th with 1.7% is Drew Holiday.
Wow. Okay. I'm not gonna say that he hasn't been playing well, but that's shocking. Okay.
I mean, 19.6 points, 5.7 rebounds, 7.9 assists, 1.5 steals at the like point guard position. That's insane. Definitely whenever your team is 10 and 2
No, for
whenever you
sure.
play.
I'm just saying that's not the name I was expecting to
Hmm.
hear.
Number 6 at 2.5% is Stephen Curry.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm interested to see who's ahead of Curry though, because Curry's been
5
having a great year.
5 and this like one doubles Curry at 5.2% is
Doubles.
Nikola Jokic.
Uh, I think they should probably swap places, but that's just me personally. Go ahead.
Jokic does a lot more for a team, I
I
feel.
mean, he does. I just feel like his overall numbers has sort of dropped though because he's been
Mm,
playing more like team focus. You know what I mean? Like he's
yeah,
really trying to make sure everyone's involved.
but that's
At
like
least
where
that's
the
what I've noticed.
efficiency stat comes in.
So yeah, I okay,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
all right,
4 at 6.7% is Donovan Mitchell.
bro. I'm telling you, that man's balling.
He's got
Four
30